Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your March 1st to the 15th, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading and clear the energy space, once again, a reminder not to be scammed by anybody in the comment box pretending to be me offering you a reading. That person is not me. They are a scammer. I will not be soliciting you for anything, so don't be scammed. Okay, with that said, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Sagittarius, March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels. And spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. Let's look at your chakra energy for this time. Sagittarius, March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Okay, these two. I like that. So we start off here with Holistic Health, which is one of my favorite cards. It's the root chakra. And then we have Play the Heart Chakra coming forward. Those are a beautiful combination. Okay, don't want to stand straight. Give me just one moment. All right, that's as good as I'm going to get it right now. All right, the left-hand side is the inner self. The middle is the heart, the emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what they have to say. We start off with the Four of Coins. Then we have the Hermit, Virgo energy, time frame August 23rd to September 22nd. We have the King of Coins, which is Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And the Magician, which is awesome. I like that. The Six of Wands. The Page of Wands, you're coming through as a student, and then you're coming through as yourself. Balance, love, harmony, seeking, questioning, diving deeper and deeper and deeper, which is beautiful. And then you become a queen. You have the Queen of Wands. You're represented, of course, by the Wands in the Minor Arcana, by the Temperance card in the Major Arcana. You're all about the heart. You are all about the heart. So we start off with the Six of Wands, learning. It's all about learning how to celebrate yourself during this time. It really is about learning how to celebrate you, learning how to step into your power, learning, what it is that you want, and then coming to this powerful conclusion. It's like, oh, this is it, isn't it? It moves us then to the public arena where the sun grounds you. Glorious. The Ace of Swords, the Ten of Wands, okay, and the Page of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. So you come through once again as a page, as a student, as a seeker. Here it's of your emotional truth, and your emotional truth very much links you during this time with your truth. That's why the heart chakra comes through with play. You have holistic health, embracing the holistic avenue of yourself, like this is me sort of deal. And that's so important for you during this time. So let's look at your chakra energy. Sagittarius, March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. What energy does Sagittarius need to be mindful of? March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. What energy does Sagittarius need to be mindful of? March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, okay. Queen of Cups, guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. This one? Okay. Oh, it's so interesting. So you're all about the heart during this time. And we have the Queen of Cups and we have the Lovers coming through. So everything that you have to be mindful of during this time resonates around the heart. You have to be mindful of a person who, or, an energy. So it could be a person, it could be how something evokes you to feel. So you can get, it can be listening to somebody speak. It can be, whatever it is that brings up this emotion within you. And that kind of takes you down this rabbit hole is what you want to avoid during this time. And what we're seeing here with the Queen of Cups, this is a person who can be very manipulative emotionally, kind of hits on all the right keys, very much plays to their audience type of deal. And this is a sense of looking at that hurt and the pain and kind of wanting to bring that forefront because you have so much power within your heart during this time. And because you're crowned with learning how to celebrate yourself, what this energy is going to try and do is take away that celebration, is remind you of all the guilt, all the heartbreaks, all the pains, all the disappointments that you have been through and say, you can't possibly, can you? You can't possibly celebrate you. And the fact of the matter is, you can and you should. Do not let this energy pull you away. Now, this is somebody who you could be romantically kind of very interested in, or this could be somebody who you're romantically attached to, and they're just going to be a little bit them-centric. And it might not be just a little bit them-centric, but this is a sense of needing to look at what it is that you love, why it is that you fell in love with a person or a job or a dream, and see what it is that is draining you from that power forward, from that purpose forward, from that idea, and look at things in a greater light in accordance to you, to what you want, to where you're headed, to what you desire. Because this person, whether they know it or not, and this of course represents Gemini energy here, is going to try and manipulate things, going to try and sit there and say, well, if you really, then you would. It's like, if you were really serious about this job, then you would. They're emotionally manipulating you. And that's what you come up against during this time that you have to be so aware of. This, with the Queen of Cups, which represents water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, this is going to be an energy that more kind of like studies you and sits there and sees your strengths and sees your weaknesses and compiles that and then brings you to where they want to be, wants to kind of pull the puppet strings, all right? Even if you can't see them, that's what they're doing. That's what they're building towards. And then the Lovers is that sense of, if you love me, if you love this, if you were serious. And it's like, how much more can I give is really the question that you should be asking yourself. Holistic health at your root. This is looking at things, and instead of saying, what is it that I can take? What is it that will make me feel instantaneously better? It's looking at the long haul. What do I have to change within my life to bring me health and prosperity? What do I have to do to start focusing on my well-being, to start realigning things, to really move me forward? The holistic health is looking at the root of us, because we have really good habits, right? But we also sometimes have really bad habits that we have to look at. And the root chakra is understanding those habits, understanding what we desire, understanding who it is that we are. And also looking at what our body craves, listening to our body. And then also looking at, like, okay, maybe my body craves a whole bunch of sugar or a whole bunch of starchy foods. Why is that? Am I sleep deprived? Am I burning the candle at both ends? Am I not being kind to myself? Or do I have to go on the Candida diet, which will stink when I start it, but will be so helpful as I go along it? And it's just all these little things that can add up. It's getting sunlight, it's making sure that you get the fresh air, and it's being kind to your body, because we want our bodies to be kind to us. And then it leads us to play. It leads us to the heart chakra. And the heart chakra says, let play be part of your life. Let joy, let happiness, let success, let bounty be part of your life. But, when we say play and we then say success, it sounds odd, because success is hard work. It's putting your nose to the grindstone and it's just getting it done, right? But there needs to be a level of enjoyment. Now, maybe, certain people enjoy sitting on their stacks of money and Scrooge McDucking it. And that's cool, that's them. But if we step back and say, how is it that I enjoy my life? How is it that I have time for what's truly valuable to me? What is it that I can do? And it can be just looking at things differently. It can be, it's prioritizing. And it's letting time to just laugh and play and to have fun. So it's kind of like doing the laughing meditation. I don't know if you've ever done it, but you sit and you meditate, but you let yourself just laugh. And I'm sure you can find a link on YouTube of somebody doing it, where you just let yourself laugh, because you raise that energy vibration. If you start your day raising that energy vibration, that's amazing. That's amazing. Keep that energy going. I mean, Spirit just said to me, you should do that more often. And it's like, yes, I know. Okay, I get it. So we start off here with the 4 of coins. And that's why it's so important to start your day with joy and happiness, because we're starting right off hitting vampiric energy, hitting like these leeches that are attached to us, and looking at things and saying, well, how do I move forward? Like, how do I get to be where I want to be? What is it that I desire? Where is it that I'm headed? So the 4 of Pentacles is looking at the energy that leeches you, the people that you go, oh no, not them. The situations where we haven't properly taken care of ourselves. And so they take a bunch of energy, but instead of it being the energy that we have stored within us, it's just like the energy that we just have to keep us going, because everything is so complicated and so intense. And so here with the 4 of Pentacles, it's really looking at that which leeches away our strength, leeches away our greater insight, leeches away our passion and ideas and ideals. And it's looking at, how do I rid myself of this? How do I say no more? And sometimes it's as easy as saying, or as seemingly simple as saying no more. I will not be manipulated and overwhelmed and overrun this way. It's reclaiming the idea of our power, or it's finding that idea. It's finding that truth where we never had it before. And it's being the lions of our strength. It's opening up our truth. It brings us to the Hermit. The Hermit is the sense of looking at what's really important. Here we have the dragon hoarding its gold. When we turn inward and we see all the things that we want to do, all the things that we dream of, and we might think, I'm too old for this. I can't do it. Life has given me too many responsibilities. It was a nice dream while it lasted, but life got in the way. No. Our dreams might be tweaked a little bit here and there, but it's looking at what we desire. It's looking at what we need, and it's connecting with our inner dreams. Instead of hoarding our dreams, it's letting them come out to the surface. And it can take time. You might sit there and be meditating upon this idea of, how do I bring my dreams to the surface? Or how do I move forward? Or you could be, washing the dishes or walking the dogs or, doing whatever. And it's like, well, how do I do this? And it can take time. And that's not a bad thing. Things taking time is not bad. Just because they don't happen in our timing does not mean that they don't happen in divine timing. And so when we turn inward, when we have this conversation with ourselves, when we are open and we are honest about our dreams and our desires and our ways forward, we see things quite differently because of it. And it moves us to the King of Pentacles. It moves us to being a ruler of our prosperity, looking at what we desire, looking at the greater picture of what we want. If you are born on the cusp with Capricorn, this sense of really needing a solid, steadfast plan, and kind of like listing it out is going to be so important to you. Don't let that become so important that you don't shine with the brilliance of your heart. Because if you let this time pass, you're going to regret it. If you don't connect with your heart, and that's why I swear to you, laughing meditation, just sitting there and laughing, having a good time, letting your heart open up, being like a little kid, and just letting yourself express. That is extraordinary. And that's not what we do anymore. Once you hit a certain age, you don't just laugh for the joy of laughing. With the King of Coins, they're seeing these connections to things. It's seeing these greater ideas, these greater ways forward. It's looking at this complicated web and saying, I see me, I see my prosperity, I see my way forward, I see, and maybe not all the time, but there's like these glimpses of truth. And it doesn't mean that you have to run off and start your own business. I know that's the new, dream that everybody has, but it can very simply be, I have my job, I pay my bills, but I let joy come in. I let my hobbies have their place. I connect with my family, with what I'm building, with what I love. And I see the way that that's changing my life. And I see the way that that's guiding me forward. And it brings us to the Magician. It brings us to standing before the altar of our existence and claiming our magic, claiming our power, looking at our mind and our passion and our love and our prosperity, our seeds that we are planting, and saying, this is me. As above, so below. As I think it, so it becomes. And what's so interesting is that is the traditional phrase with the Magician. You'll read it everywhere. And it's showing us that the magic is within the thought. The magic is within the self. If you do not believe that it will happen, whoever will? If you do not see your power and your truth, why would anybody else? And this is a connection with your higher abundance, your higher being, your sense of, why am I here? And as you're claiming this in the public arena, as you're, within yourself, but this is a very public card, you're opening up your eyes to what it is that you desire within your life. You're seeing your gifts, and where you might have thought, I'm giftless, I don't have anything to offer. That's not true at all. You have quite a powerful abundance to offer this world. It's just not in the way you think. And it might not be in the mainstream way of doing it. It brings us to the sense of needing to learn to celebrate ourselves. Sagittarius, you seek, you find, you quest, you dive deep. Now it's time to celebrate. Now it's time to look at what you've done right. Now it's time to call forward your blessings and your desires and open up your mind and your heart and say, I've done a good job. It's a hard path. Nobody's going to deny that. I love the quote by Katharine Hepburn. Living is the hardest thing we ever do. After all, it kills you. I think it's so witty and so just on point. It is a hard, long road that we have in this life. We seek happiness or we seek purpose, and we think it sounds so simple, and it does. They're small words. They're easy words to understand, but they hold so much meaning to them. It is time, as we are rooted in embracing our magic, in knowing that our mind affects so much in looking at what it is that we desire and showing up to our truth, to our passion, to our greater understanding. And now it's time to celebrate that. You might fail, absolutely. Everybody falls. We don't like to talk about it. Unless people have made it to this unbelievable status. They'll tell you the struggle and how it was so real. So they become more relatable. But nobody likes to share the nitty-gritties of their stories before they embrace this, mansion success. Maybe some people do, but most do not. The Six of Wands is saying it is time to celebrate ourselves. The long and the nasty road that we've been on, the powerful understanding, the shedding of a skin, the hurts and the pains, the fact that we're not the same person we were when we started this battle, when we embraced this life. And it moves us to being a student, to constantly being a student of our passion, of what we desire, of where we want to be, of how we're moving forward, of what we're looking at and looking for. The Page of Wands is sitting within us and saying, what is it that is the guiding light of my life? What is it that is the torch of my existence, that opens up the doors, that grants me greater understanding, that has me looking at things so differently than I ever thought I could have looked at them before? And we become students. We ask, we seek, we question, we learn, we take it all in. It's like a kid, when you discover what a kid is passionate about, they gravitate towards it. But then again, we can, kind of tweak their gravitations. We can sit there and say, oh, well, don't you want to do this instead of that? No, don't you want to play with this instead of that? But if you let them just develop and see what truly guides them, that's really important. And if we sit within ourselves, if we meditate within ourselves and say, what are you truly excited about? It could be a different thing a week. You might be excited about learning new things, about discovering new ways forward. You might have dreams that you thought, oh, that's ridiculous, it can never come to the surface. That once you start to focus on it, you bring it to the surface. You bring it to your power. And that's what connects you with this beautiful balance of you. Temperance right here is balance. It's understanding. It's the subconscious self and the conscious self. It's love, it's peace, it's harmony. It's saying, let's be. And that's what you're embracing. You're embracing the masculine and you're embracing the feminine. You're embracing the day and you're embracing the night. You're embracing what we show to people and what we hide away. Jung would call it the subconscious self, the shadowed self. And so here, when we look at the shadowed self, when we look at what we don't show to people, we also tend to find our monster. And I know that's not a popular thing to talk about, like find your inner monster. But if you walk around like a wide-eyed doe, or deer in and of itself, and don't realize that there's a predator within you, you're not fully embracing your strength. You're not fully looking at your power. I believe in love and respect. I do. Honor people, respect people, move forward in kindness. That is fundamentally important. But if we do not look at ourselves and say within every human being, there is this fantastic potential for a monster, we're not seeing our truth. And this is turning inward and looking at that harsh, stark truth and owning it. There's one thing if you do not have the self-control to chain the beast within. But it's a completely different story. If you look within, you see the beast, you acknowledge it, and you never let it out. That's power. That's a balance of the personality. That's knowing that I can be amazing and awful, but I choose the road that I walk forward in. And that's ownership of responsibility, of life and of self. Balance of human. And that's what we strive for. We only rule ourselves. And that's kind of what temperance says. To find that balance, to embrace that truth in greater knowledge, in greater wisdom than we could have thought possible. It moves us to the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is the roll up your sleeves, get your hands dirty, go after your dreams type of person. And that's what you are, Sagittarius. You have yourself here as a student, as the perfection of your soul, right, with the major arcana, and then as the Queen coming forward. But the Queen of Wands is something a little bit greater. It's not always, and it's not only that spunky, fiery self that says, yes, I can do it. It is that person who steps back and sees what is needed. It is that person who judges the situation and understands their role. And I keep on seeing the goddess Hestia when I see this Queen of Wands. She was the goddess of the hearth in Greek and Roman mythology. Her place within the Olympians was once equal to Hera or Zeus, right? And she gave it up because she saw after the battle with the Titans that there was going to be another war. And she thought, oh no, I cannot. I cannot have this. And so the Titans needed an equal amount of men and an equal amount of women to be the main gods. And there was one more woman. And so there was going to be another war to see what would happen, how things would be, how the numbers would be divvied up. But instead of that, she said, there has been enough fighting. I will step down. And in stepping down, she assured her place in every single Greek and Roman home. She was worshipped, known, and loved. Once we step back from the endless fighting, we can find a place where we may not be worshipped because that's weird, but we are embraced and in love with life. And the Queen of Wands brings us closer to that, brings us into a knowing that seems extraordinary. It moves us to the sun. It moves us to the passion, into the beauty, into the fire. This is the happiest card in the whole entire deck. It's crowning your public arena. It's like, I'm moving forward in my happiness. I'm going after what I want. I'm embracing this because there's this charge of energy from your heart that says, if not now, then when? If not me, then who? Let me fly. Let me embrace the sunbird and fly into my truth. People will take you by eyes, especially since this is crowning the public arena. They won't understand. They'll think, weird. Or, who makes you think, what makes you think you can be happy? What makes you think you can be powerful? What makes you embrace this truth, this life, this love? You do. And you get to open up your soul to so much more than what you expected. Don't let other people rob your happiness. They'll be more than happy to do that, and they don't get to. It brings us to the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, cutting away doubts and fears, embracing your mind and your understanding, looking deeper at your truth, becoming one with your body. This is also a gift of air, a gift of the breath that fuels our body, the breath that powers our words. Our breath is so important. And when we have this gift of knowledge, of understanding, of digging deeper, but also stepping into ourselves, owning our breath, owning what we desire, we cut through so much because clarity comes. It might be little flashes of clarity here and there, but it is clarity nonetheless. And it moves us to the Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands is the burden that we have been carrying. It is, oh, don't worry, I'll do it. Oh, don't worry, I'll do it. And it's the mumbling under the breath, because when we're doing so much, and we look at things, it's like, you could help. You could do this. What the heck? But in the next breath, we'll completely counteract that by saying, oh, no, don't worry, I'll do it. Because we don't want to be considered mean or snippy or anything like that. You're carrying, and we're carrying too much. Let it go. We're not only carrying all our dreams, we're carrying those around us. We're saying, oh, I can take on your burden. I can help up with that. You don't have to learn that lesson right now. I got it. They do have to learn that lesson. This isn't being cruel. This isn't being hurtful. This isn't being angry. It is simply saying that there is power to you, but you have to stand up straight. Shoulders back. Own your world. Own your truth. Burn your fire bright. Let it clear away all the bugs, and let it embrace this greater passion forward. It brings you to the Page of Cups. It brings you to being a student of your heart, of what you desire, of what you need, of how you want to move forward, of why you are at the center of your heart right now. Why is your heart so powerfully important to you? You are becoming a student of what is fueling you during this time in an extraordinary way. Let's go deeper. Pisces. Not Pisces, my goodness. Sagittarius. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Ooh, and one bonus card. The Emperor, Aries energy, March 21st to April 19th. The King of Coins, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The Ace of Wands, a gift just for you, Sagittarius. The Seven of Swords, the Four of Swords, the Two of Swords. It is a battle to embrace your truth, which is interesting, which we saw up here. But that is so interesting. The Five of Cups, the Ten of Swords, the Two of Coins, and the Four of Coins. So you have over all of this the vampiric energy that has crowned the inner self, okay? This sense of leeching, this sense of they're taking away your energy, your truth, your purpose, what you desire. And this is a sense of, it can be certain people within your life that are they're just leeches, they're vampiric energy people, they just drain you. Or it can be people who don't know that they're toxic, but they are toxic to be around. So be very mindful of this, okay, Sagittarius? Because as you release yourself from the vampiric energy and you turn inward, you become an emperor, you become a warrior. Remember, Aries is the god of war in Greek mythology. So you become this great strategist, you become this great thinker, this great planner. And as you're looking at things of how can I increase my power within my life? How do I hold my throne? And you might say, well, I don't deserve a throne. I'm not perfect. Listen, nobody who ever ruled anything was perfect. They just kind of believed they were. Or thought, you know what? Nobody else is better for this job than me. Why not start thinking that? We see people walking around who have nothing to offer, okay? With the greatest inflated egos you have ever seen. But people who have something to offer stand meekly in the corner? No. Embrace your voice. Embrace your power. Claim your throne. Because you might not think that you're able to rule. But do you think that anybody's able or should be able to rule over you? Absolutely not. Subservience is not going to be your thing during this time. There's an embrace of power, an embrace of understanding, this sense of this is my truth, and it makes you into a king. As you embrace, as of course the King of Pentacles is over the King of Pentacles, it makes you into a king of your prosperity. It brings you wealth and ideas and seeing the way to move forward in more clarity than you have in a very long time. This brings This brings an understanding. This brings a power to you that is extraordinary. And it moves you to getting a gift from Divinity, okay? That it's just for you because it's your passion, it's your power, it's the wands, it's what you're represented by. And you have it right over the Magician. You absolutely take it and you add it to your other talents, to a collective understanding of what you want, of where you're headed, of what you're going for, of this passion, this beauty, this truth, and this fire. And it leads you then to the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is telling you to gather up your information, gather up your knowledge, okay, so you can celebrate yourself. But you have to know what you're celebrating, know what you're moving towards. And it moves you to being a student of yourself because you're leaving some things behind and you're saying, what do I take? What do I not take? Why do I need this? What do I need that for? Now, people might call you tricky during this time, and people might try to fool you during this time because you're setting things up. Don't let them. Okay? Listen to your guidance, listen to your wisdom, meditate on things, connect on things and say, how do I move forward? Does this feel right for me? Do I really desire this? And you're going to see yourself moving in a very powerful direction. Now, the Four of Swords is very interesting because it's over the very essence of you as a Sagittarian. It's over you in the Temperance card. And this is saying that you have to look at everything that you have been through, everything that you have done, every hardship, every scrape near you, every celebration, every joy, and pay it honor. The horrors just as much as the blessings. And when we look back over our lives, we either like to only pick out the good things or only pick out the bad things. Or, sometimes we're like, that was okay, no big deal. It is a big deal because you lived it. Embrace the power of your heart. Embrace the power of your truth. Move forward in it. See how far you've come. See how much you have overcome. And start paying honor to that. Because as you embrace yourself as queen, as you start to see the roads opening up, and you start to see that there is more to you as you step into yourself than you could ever have realized, it brings you to really embracing that there isn't just one set way of doing things or two set ways of doing things. You could be A or you could be B. It's knowing what you're fighting for. It's looking at things more openly, more honestly for yourself and saying there is greatness here. And it's just not one way forward, or it's not just left or right. It's a myriad of roads that open to you. It's beginning to see what your soul really loves and desires and how you want to move forward. It moves you to the Five of Cups. You change your mind. You change your whole entire life. You have the gift of the swords, right? Which you take most definitely because of the Magician, but also because they give you clarity of understanding. The Five of Swords, where it says, Five of Cups, where it says, change your mind and change your life, has you looking at things in a bit more of an optimistic manner. You start to embrace the sun. You start to embrace your passion. You start to embrace what you desire. You look at the gifts that come, and it brings you to this change. It's like, I can look at all the bad things and I can live there. Or I can start looking at the Two of Cups that stand behind me, the unity, the connection, the brilliance, the truth, and embrace that path and embrace that definition of self. Because it moves us here to the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords over the Ten of Wands. They're the hard tens to deal with. All right? They're not the blessing tens. They are, because they're at the end of a cycle. But they're the blessings that come disguised as really hard work. So the Ten of Wands is releasing all that which has bent you down, that makes you feel like you're carrying the world on your shoulders. Now, the Ten of Swords is every single year for a decade. Okay? That stabbing in the back, that hardship, that heartbreak, that pain, that disappointment, that anger, that upset, until you collapse, until you fall, and you think, I can't do this. This is the resurrection. This is the darkness before the dawn. This is there's no hope. There's no way forward. And then the hope comes. The way forward starts to show itself. And it's like, oh, this is what it's been for, isn't it? And the answer is absolutely yes. It brings us then to the Two of Coins. As we become the students of our hearts, of ourselves, as we figure out why we're playing so prominently within our love. It's understanding that we're balancing so much within our lives, but that we also have to balance ourselves. We can't balance everything and forget about the balancer, about ourselves. Because so often we do. It's like, just pile it on, and that's what you're being warned against. You can't just pile it on. You can't. There needs to be a connection with your truth, with what you desire, with who it is that you are. Because you can balance things, yes. But first and foremost, you have to have your feet firmly planted on the ground. And know why you are doing it. It leads you to your spirit animal message. Sagittarius, March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. March 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. We have the buffalo spirit. The abundant universe will provide. There is enough. And there will always be enough. We as human beings have this attitude of lack. It's good, it keeps us on our toes, right? But it can also bring us very darkly down into a pit. The abundant universe will provide. There's more to this life than we realize. It leads us to the bee spirit. Sweet results await. It's like getting a bit of honey on your lips when you put it into your teacup and licking your lips and being so pleasantly surprised. That's what the sweet results waiting for you are. It's that pleasant surprise. It's that beautiful sweetness. It leads us to the electric eel spirit. Bring your ideas to life. Let them light up your world. Your subconscious spirit animal message is the rabbit spirit. Now is your lucky time. It is. There's luck, there's beauty, there's a passion to you, a heart to you that, oh my gosh, you should not ignore. You should not ignore this time at all. Channel this energy, make the most of it, because it can lead you to heights you never expected. It can lead you on a direction and on this course that you thought, oh, this has to be for somebody else. Like, this could never be me. It brings us then to the subconscious person message, the high priest. This is the Hierophant Taurus energy in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. This is claiming your throne, knowing what you want, and staying true to your voice. Not letting other people guide it. Saying, this is what I desire, this is what I want, and this is what I need within my life. It brings you to your subconscious chakra message, which is divine wisdom. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above your crown. This is divine wisdom, opening up the world to you, opening up your truth, raining down on you. For you, Sagittarius, to have divine wisdom guiding your subconscious is such a blessing. You are such a seeker. You are such a deeper diver into her. There is power in this knowledge. There is power in you. It brings you to your subconscious tarot message, which is the 10 of Cups. And they all live happily ever after. Find your happily ever after. Find what it is that you want and what it is that you love. It will be extraordinary for you. And let it shine bright. You now have 3 10s in this reading. So Divinity is definitely leading you towards an end of a cycle, a embracing of truth. And nobody else has to understand it. It can simply be your truth. It brings you then to your deeper subconscious, which is the Three of Coins. Let the hard work that you've put in shine through. Do not let other people take credit for it. This is what you've sculpted. This is what you've created. This is what illuminates you. And it's powerful, and it's beautiful, and it's yours. All right, Sagittarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as you're blessed like kings, as there is power and wealth and prosperity that comes to us, Sagittarius, in a way that is extraordinary, and as we rule the very essence of our hearts. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Sagittarius.